Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Warmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And as you can probably see by the bits on my desk, I have been playing with the Christmas Scottie, but let's take the Christmas bit off and just have it as a Scottie because it's far too early for Christmas for me. We are almost beginning of July. You can order this lovely stamp set and coordinating punch. If you buy them both together, you get a 10% discount. I get them early because as a demonstrator, we get to pre-order, so I can show you all these lovely things before you can buy them, so you can then decide which ones you like and which ones you don't. This is definitely a recommendation because of this stamp. This will give you so many different types of background. Coordinate it with whatever cardstock you've got and you can create all sorts. So I was showing you one the other day where we just stamped 4 of them, and today we're going to do a traditional sort of Inchies but with a little bit of a twist to it. So what I've done is I've stamped this out 3 times. It is a, let me see, there you go, it's a really thick. Our photopolymer stamps are, if you can actually see the thickness of that, they are really, really thick, beautiful stamps. So they last forever and ever and ever, which is really good. So I've stamped out 3 in 3 different colours. And I'm going to show you the cutting of one of them. So literally, I've just stamped it out. And I want to cut it into, let's make sure that we're up, yes we are. So I'm going to try and cut it so that it comes to 2 inches. Now it's not quite 2 inches across. You will get a little bit of a piece that isn't, I'll show you on here. This is 2 inches. So on one side it comes out fine. But on the other one, it can be just a little bit tight. So this is the other bit, which is 2 inches. So we've now got a 2 by 2. And then we're literally just going to cut it in half so we get our inches. So that gives us one. Cut it in half the other way, and that gives us the other. Now, these are ones that I was practicing with, and I don't like wasting anything. And you can see some of them aren't punched out exactly perfect or stamped out exactly perfectly. Because it's such a large solid stamp, I would suggest using something like our Stamparatus so that you can then get a couple of goes at it. Because, you know, when you have a large solid stamp, it is quite difficult to do that. So what we now have is we have got 3, and this is in the polished pink. This is in crushed curry, and this is in the Tahitian Tide. So, and I've done exactly the same, I've just cut them into 4. So then what we need to do is I need to have a piece of, another piece of scrap. So let's cut this down a bit. So this is going to be about, where can we get that to? It's just going to come under. And I do trim these down afterwards. So again, you know, use up all your little bits of scrap, and we'll take that to about 3.5, which should be about right sort of size wise. We might have to trim it down a bit more, which I'm expecting to. So you've now got a piece of card, and we are going to put these on in a pattern. Now, I am not the best at cutting out. Even if I do measure it and I go, oh yes, that's perfect, I'm just not very good at it. And when you're starting as well, it's something that's not always as easy. So let's do red, yellow, blue. So what I suggest is that once you've finished it, you can finish it off as I would have done. I'm leaving just a little bit of a gap, not a huge amount, just a little bit, like that. And then we've got a blue one. But by doing this, it allows you to then do some sponging and stuff over the top so that you get a very different look, and it looks really good. So I'm just making sure that I'm getting this all in. So this is going to be my yellow, red, yellow, blue. You can see that one's a bit cut cockeyed, and as I say, it's yellow, blue, red. I've done it. I've purposely not done these perfectly accurately, because I know that, as I say, a lot of people yellow want blue. I'm just making sure that I have it in the right colour coordination so that you haven't got any of them the wrong ones, if you see what I mean. But what I will do is, so you can see that this one is just slightly out on there, but as I say, it doesn't matter. Yellow, blue, so we want red, yellow. And what you want to try and do, which I've just done, which I shouldn't have done, is you don't want to try and get your glue coming out on the outside. So that's my blue, blue, red, yellow. Oops. And this one, as I say, is brighter colours, but I'm trying to show you that you can tone them down. And you can see this piece had a little piece missing off the side where I cut it. Blue, yellow, red, yellow, blue. So we want red on this one. I have to remember make sure that I don't have them coming in the wrong place. So that's going to be red. That's going to be yellow. And that's going to be the blue. Okay, so we've now got them on, and you can see that that's just a little bit tight in on there as well. So it doesn't matter, is what I'm trying to say to you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our trimmer back in again, and we are going to cut this down so that the edge is completely, you haven't got any border around. So that's why when you start, you leave a little bit of a border so that it comes out, and then down on this one as well, just a little bit, maybe out just a tad. That looked a bit too much. So literally just making sure that you've taken all of your border out. Okay, so we then have a piece like this, which has, you've then got your different sizes so they're not completely straight. So what we need to do now is to choose what colour we want. Now I'm going to use the polished pink because I want the whole thing to have a polished pink feel to it. So I'm going to take out, this is a sponge dauber. I'm going to take the polished pink, and I am going to just cover the whole of the card in the polished pink. So it then turns it from being a separate piece to almost being the same thing. So I'm doing this very quickly. You can obviously spend a little bit more time, But what I want to do is to just come in and do it all the way round like that. And then we're going to take a sponge dauber, and let me just make sure that I've got to open it up. Sponge dauber in the polished pink, and we're going to go round the outside because you want that darker. Because pink with blue will give a purpley hue. Pink with yellow will give an orangey hue. And pink with pink is all right. So you have to be careful which colours you match together. And I'll show you one that, as I say, how we're going to finish this. I just wanted to show you that you can do it in all sorts of different colours, which will actually work. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to take it across on the centre on each one of these, and you're drawing it as a complete straight line so that where you've got things that are a little bit cockeyed, it doesn't matter because you are drawing a straight line through. So take it from there and take it from there. So you still have your pail in the centre, but you've taken it from being two different pieces to one piece. Then we need to cut ourselves a little mount for this. I don't think I've got anything that's going to be quite big enough, but you then cut a mount, and I do white first, and then so 1/4 of an inch bigger, and then I will take put it onto a polished pink background and then use that as my base. So you'll probably see this one coming up later on in a few days time or whatever. Now we've done the background, we'll do something with it. But I wanted to show you one that I did with, just take these pieces off. Okay, so this is one that I did with the purples that we had left over from before, and you can see with this one some were completely off the edge, but once you've sponged it and you've taken it in as a one piece, it doesn't look odd at all. So what I'm going to do is, and that's the white, so that's your white mat that you've got in underneath. So this one will come at the top. There's a piece at the bottom left over which I can put some ribbon in. So I'm going to tie some ribbon and stuff down around on there. And then what I did was I took the punch and I took, I can do another couple with these. I took a white one, and I wanted to have two so that I had one direction and one the other, because that's the lovely thing of, normally when we're stamping, you can do reverse stamping, but it's not as easy as literally just turning round and taking out your punch and just punching it one way and the other. So we've now got our lovely little Scottie dogs, and what I would do is I would punch several of them out and then put them on top of each other so that they give the height, and I will do that afterwards. I'm not going to do it now because you know how I do that. I've done it before. And then I've just got the "You Are Always Loved," which is the sentiment from this one, non-Christmas. You can have "Woof Woof" as well, which I've done on one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in on the centre, or as near to the centre. Then I can have the dogs coming up so that they're literally just with their paw and their ear on top, like that. Put some ribbon round in on the bottom here. and you've got yourself a really lovely card using the background. So if I wanted to do, so that's the purple one, which I really like, but if you wanted to do something that was a little bit more jazzy, there's obviously the one that we've just done. So I'm just going to see for putting it in on here and then putting that through. Obviously I would do polished pink. Let me see if I've got a piece of polished pink that's yes, I have. Okay, so I've got a piece of polished pink here. So that was the purple one. In fact, we can probably do both bits. I haven't got the sentiment on there. I haven't got the white. So this needs to go onto a white background to just pop it a bit. But you've then got that on there, these ones on here. Now, my personal favourite, obviously, is the... oh, I've cut his tail off. That's why he's looking a bit odd up in the air. Well, ignore that one. We'll have to do another one. That's the one that's got the... So I would do the sentiment again in the polished pink with a little matte. But you can see how the colours do pop nicely, but you want a white matte to go round there to just give it a bit of extra. So I hope you enjoyed that one. It's the Christmas Scottie. Not using it for Christmas. I think I will use some for Christmas, but you really don't need to use it for Christmas. You can use it all year round. And the Scottie Dog Punch. So as always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye bye.